This is Tom Gallion, and I'd like to do a screencast of my Web 102 final project. Beginning here on my home page, you see the link that says Web 102 final project. Beginning earlier in the semester, this was just a text, but now this has been turned into a link that takes you to my final project. So we will click it, and it takes you to the Mangoes Family Restaurant. As you can see on the sides, it has two mangoes on the side of a very fancy title at the top. And there is the menu, which I thought was very nice looking. It stood out, gave the people something to look at that would draw their attention, make stuff easy to find. Here you see a scrolling window of food that is served at the restaurant. Now here at the bottom on the footer, you have a description of the menu serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and trying one of our famous cobblers. The hours of operation, which are Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., closed Sundays, and the entertainment, which tells you that we provide a local band every week, folk, polka, country, oldies. There's always entertainment. And at the bottom, including on every page, besides these three logos, labels for menu, hours, operation, and entertainment, it features a link in the copyright section that actually takes you back to my home page. So we're going to click the final project again, and we're going to do a quick tutorial of the menu pages. Our history features how the restaurant began, where the name Mangoes originated, and what it's like to dine at Mangoes, as well as a picture associated with the topic on this page. On to meet the chef. You see a picture of me as the chef with a bit of information I put down relating to Chef Mango and his restaurant. Moving on, we go to the lunch and dinner menu. When you switch between the pages, the spoons and the forks on the menus actually twirl. These menus have a listing of the lunches, the dinners, the desserts, and the types of drinks that are served, as well as the hours that lunch lasts, as well as when breakfast lasts till. On the Contact Us page, you see the clip art of a large mango, as well as it tells you info about how to contact Mangoes Family Restaurant, where it is located, its email address, and telephone number. It also includes 2 extra links if you're interested in learning more about the mango fruit, which actually takes you to the Wikipedia entry for mangoes, It also has a link to Stewartstown Borough, which is where Mangoes is found at. So, continuing on, back to the home page. There's a short description here of how I created the final website. I utilized Wix.com as my host, like I also did for this web page. I used one of their restaurant templates as the base outline of what will become my website. I chose to reformulate all the fonts and the background colors to what I wanted it to look like, which I chose a more business-like model. I didn't want very bright colors that would agitate the viewer. Just something that would attract their attention while allowing them to view everything on the website. The photos that I used for the website came from my hard drive from pictures my sister and I had taken over the years. I made sure to include in the copyright section a link that takes you back to this page so that there's links between this page as well as the website for Mangoes. On to this mini questionnaire discussion that we were asked to have. What are the pros of the site you chose and the style you created? I found the Wix templates very easy to use to create this website because it allowed me to have a base template to use when I happened to come up with the entire website out of my imagination on a blank slate. I also thought that the style was nice to have 2 pages of a very nice menu that looks just like a menu you would see at a restaurant in person. What are some of the cons of the site you chose and the style you created? I found Wix to be very finicky to use. There were times where I saved things and Wix froze and erased them. So if you ever use Wix in the future, be mindful of this and save things you want to save in other places so that you have the ideas ready in case it happens. I already described some details of how I created the projects. Why did I make the choices I chose? Most especially the pictures. I chose to use the pictures because I found them to be more original. Although I did use some of the Wix clip art as well as computer clip art that I found on the internet. But most of the almost all of the real pictures came from my family's own pictures. What are some suggestions you would give? Always give yourself enough time when you're doing a project like this. You don't want to take a long time working on one thing, but then you also do want to take a long time. You want your website to look very nice like this, but you also don't want to mingle around too long, because even with giving yourself enough time, if you focus too much on the details, you'll never get finished, which I found just working on this week, working very long on the fonts and the colors and the text of just the menu bar took me quite a long time. So always give yourself enough time. Is there anything I would have done differently? I'm pretty happy with the website, though I think if I did it again, I would have removed the scrolling pictures on the front page and just used still shots, because the gallery of rotating images didn't give enough options to tweak what I wanted it to look like. You only had a limited selection of options. What did I learn from this? I learned that HTML coding takes a long time, and you really have to work with it and not presume that you're going to learn it quick, because you aren't going to learn it very quickly. You also learn that there's a lot that goes into making a website, and it's very nice to have sites like Wix.com with their templates to help you, especially if you're not an advanced user. I also learned that having screencasts like this to do are great to have when you need to give tutorials as a teacher, or to go and teach people how to use things such as computer programs, because you can easily record and send the file out to multiple people, and they can learn and see what you are seeing on your computer. I hope you enjoyed the screencast.